Hi there, BookTube. Chelsea's Reads here, and it is a chilly January. I hope you guys are all having a very nice start to the new year. Happy 2016. To combat this chilly weather, I got my cup of tea. It's blueberry. It's delicious. It's my favorite. I got the C for Chelsea. I'm having quite a busy week as I start my new job, so I kind of wanted to get another video in just because I don't know if I'm going to have time for another one. Like I said in my previous video, I want to start doing some book tags, so I went looking on the internet, and I found the musical theater book tag, and that was originally created by something like Lydia. So I have it up in another window so I can read it. I am a huge musical fan, if you can't tell from my walls in the background. So it sounds like kind of a fun tag. So our first question, before we begin, a warning that some major spoilers are ahead. So if you want to read the questions first and decide if you want to spoil that or not, it's up to you. So I give you a warning. So our first question, for real this time, is from Wicked, the musical, and it is your favorite fictional friendship. And my favorite fictional friendship comes from Labyrinth, Jim Henson's Labyrinth. The novelization is by A.C.H. Smith. And my favorite friendship is definitely that of Sarah and Hoggle. For fans of the movie, you know, the book basically follows the movie and enhances it, of course, because it's a book and books are wonderful. But Sarah and Hoggle have that innocent friendship, and I think it's kind of a story of who saves who. It's fun. He's a goblin, and she kind of changes his views on things, and that's my favorite fictional friendship. Awkward sip. Question 2, moving on, is from Sweeney Todd. Your favorite villain. My favorite villain, actually, it's one series, but multiple villains, so I kind of am cheating for that question, I think, a little bit. It comes from the Love It Steak series, and featured here, it's by Carolyn Sparks, and featured here is the last book in the series, Crouching Tiger, Forbidden Vampire. It's a paranormal romance series, clearly. And there's so many good villains. Starts with, Casimir, then Darifer the Demon, Master Han. I'm pretty sure there's like a king demon, I think, if I remember correctly. I forget. But there's a lot of good villains in here, paired with wonderful romance, and of course, great paranormal. It's a really actually quirky, funny series. Carolyn Sparks is my favorite author. I've gotten a postcard from her. I've sent her Christmas cards. I love her. Please check out her books. Number 3 is from Phantom of the Opera, my favorite musical, and it is your favorite love triangle. My favorite love triangle is actually kind of controversial, and that's because it is Janet Ivanovich's Stephanie Plum series. Yes, this was 30% off. I still haven't read this, actually, and this is number 21. So in 21 books, there's still a love triangle between our main character, Stephanie Plum, and her childhood sweetheart, Joe Morelli, who's a cop, and kind of badass ranger. And after 21 books, she still hasn't decided between the two. And for some, that's kind of annoying, but for me, it's wonderful, because I can't decide which one I like better. Wouldn't that be nice? Number 4 comes from the Lion King musical, and that's your favorite sidekick. My favorite sidekick is actually Jem from Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm sure if you're over the age of 10, you've read this book at some point in your life. So for those of you who read the Spark Notes and need a reminder, Jem is a friend of Scout, our main character. He likes to play pretend and gets like queasy at the trial when he knows there's a bunch of injustice going on. He actually gets sick to his stomach, and I don't know, he's a fun addition to the book. It was a fun book that, deals with racism and injustice in the South in that civil rights era. But Jem was fun. I don't know. He's the only sidekick, honestly, that I can think of off the top of my head. And even looking at my shelf, he's the only one I could really think of. So Jem gets the win. Number 5 is from Grease, and that is the least favorite ending. And as something like Lydia explained in her original video, Grease is a wonderful movie. It's a great musical. The ending sucks. So, least favorite ending for Grease. And I went with Wonder by R.J. Palacio. If you have not read this book, please do. It is really great. It's about a young boy with a facial deformity starting school for the first time, and I think he's like 10, 11 years old. So it was very good. It was definitely a tearjerker, but I didn't like the ending because, like, there was no retribution. The bad people got what they wanted, essentially. I mean, they were never really given their dues. They never learned a lesson. It was too much of a happy, clean ending for me. And that's the only problem I have with this book. Other than that, it was really good. There's very few books that I was like, oh my god, I hate the ending. So, that's why this one takes the win. Matilda the musical. The question is, the favorite adaptation of a book. And this is going to be cheating, because this is a musical theater book tag, and I'm picking The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. And that's because the book is only like meh, but the musical is beautiful. You can see I have a puzzle I made. Somebody made me a artwork right up there. There it is. The musical is fantastic. The book is only meh. So that's why it's my favorite adaptation. I know it's kind of cheating, but I don't care. I don't know. Awkward sip. Number 7, and our last question. Major spoilers ahead. This comes from the musical Les Miserables, and it's your favorite death in a book. Now that's kind of a morbid question, but let's start. I actually have 2 because I couldn't decide. My first favorite death is The Elephant Man by Christine Sparks. Yes, it was a movie. Is this an adaptation? This is a novelization, and I did not know that. Huh. Okay, The Elephant Man is kind of like Wonder for grown-ups. It's about a man that has elephantitis, so he has very enlarged, disfigured features. And spoiler, he dies at the end, but it was so beautifully written and so heartbreaking. I sobbed for days. I still tear up thinking about it. And my second one's actually more modern, and it's going to be made into a movie I just discovered, and that is Me Before You by Jojo Myers. It is the story of a man that's pretty well off, and right in the first chapter he gets hit by a car and is paralyzed. So this woman goes to take care of him, and then they fall in love, and he decides to die, like assisted suicide. He goes to like Sweden or Switzerland. I apologize, I always get those 2 mixed up. But he decides to get lethal injection and die at the end, and it was so heartbreaking. I heard she wrote a sequel that I am going to refuse to read because I loved the way it ended. I mean, it was sad, it was heartbreaking. Don't ruin it with a sequel. So that's it. I don't really think I'm big enough to tag anybody else. Nobody tagged me, obviously. But I just want to thank you for watching this video. The link to the original video from Something Like Lydia is in the description below. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon once I get my work schedule figured out a little bit more. And again, as always, feel free to discuss my opinions versus yours in the comment section below. Stay warm, everybody. Cheers.